No nonsense gin drinking. All gin, no nonsense.
Hello gin lovers, welcome back. I'm Bobby Freeman and today, my friends, we have a rather curious gin on the show for you. And I shall tell you why it's curious in a second. First of all, I shall tell you its name. It goes by the name of Oxley Cold Distilled Gin, and the reason it's called cold distilled gin is because it is literally distilled, well, very coldly. In fact, -5 degrees to be precise, which is a very unique thing for gin and quite apt today because it is a very hot day here in the UK. Well, not hot compared to some places in the world, but hot for us here in the UK. And the sun is beating down on the tin roof here, so I'm under like a giant radiator. So you might wonder, actually, my more sort of astute and observant viewers might wonder why I've got a rather sort of developed a middle-aged paunch here. Well, don't worry, I'm not pregnant. I am, in fact, this is in fact a ice pack wrapped in a tea towel, stuffed down the front of my trousers, because it's the only way I can stay cool in this baking hot room. You see, this is the lengths, you see. This is the lengths I go to bring you top quality gin reviews. You're welcome. Anyway, that's a bit of housekeeping over, so you know why I've got this strange thing. I say we crack on, my friends, and find out a bit more about this rather unique gin. We invented our patented cold distillation gin to create an innovative, bright, and smooth-tasting gin. We dedicated 8 years and 38 recipes to the perfect process. To the perfect process? Yes, to the perfect process of making Oxley Gin in a vacuum still, well below the freezing point. Our unique process uses fresh botanicals that you can taste in every sip. Distilling without heat leads to a gin with more fresh fruit, vibrant citrus, herbal and floral flavours than in a traditional distillation process. So let's have a look at the botanical shower. We've got grains of paradise, we've got coriander, we've got orish, we've got cassia bark, we've got juniper, obviously, we've got licorice, and we've got angelica root, and we also have some other ones here. Here we go. So here's where it gets interesting and to do with the frozen element. It's frozen fresh orange peel, frozen fresh lemon peel, and frozen grapefruit peel. So there's a lot of frozen peel involved there. And get a load of these ones, some more weird ones here. Vanilla beans, nutmeg, that's not so unusual. Meadow sweet, don't know what that is. And cocoa. So we've literally... They've literally thrown everything but this kitchen sink into this gin. So this is going to be, I don't know really, we're in kind of uncharted territory to be honest. This could go one or two ways. So I say we find out which way it's going to go. But before we do, if you're enjoying my kind of irrational and sort of aimless rambling about gin here, you might enjoy my irrational and aimless rambling about other stuff. And if you do, then why not head over to my new channel, The Bobby Freeman Show, where I talk about all kinds of things in an extraordinarily intellectual, intelligent and rather amusing way. Anyway, let's crack this devil open, shall we? And as always, I shall be struggling with the seal on the top, but I usually manage to pad all the way through. I think I might be struggling this time. I need to find that little bit that's perforated. I don't think I've managed to do it. I have managed to do it. Here we go. I've managed to get that bit off, and we are rewarded, my friends, with a cork test. Oxley Gin, frozen distilled. It's getting really cold here now. I might have to adjust this. Christ, I'm going to get frostbite in an area that you don't want to be getting frostbite. So here we go. It's just the normal cork test. Just the normal cork test. So do we have a squeak? Here we go. Where's the microphone? There we go. Hang on, just not really a squeak, more of a kind of a groan, really. Bit of a grumble. Never mind. Let's go for the full pull. Here we go. What the? Hang on a minute. That was barely audible. Let me try again. Okay. Okay, that's possibly the worst cork test we've ever had. I think before I've likened it to a chaffinch farting. I would go a little bit further. I would say a quail sort of breaking wind very gently. But of course it doesn't matter because we all know it's just a bit of fun. So, bad cork test to start with, but that doesn't really matter. Let's see what she smells like, shall we? So, let's get the nostrils in that glass. So here we go. Holy shit. Wow, gin lovers. It's certainly, all those, I said they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink into this. There's a lot of botanicals in there, and you can totally get it in the smell. Hold on a second, let me go for a second. Oh, man alive. It's literally like a whole barrage of botanicals have just been crammed up the nose, and they've just been like set off like fireworks, like boof, and it just blows your nasal cavities apart. But in a pleasant and enjoyable way. It's kind of almost stings with a sort of a citrusy and kind of a, oh, it's very strong as well. It's also 40, I forgot to say, I think it's 47% ABV. You can definitely get that through the smell. It kind of zings and crackles and whizzes, and oh man, this is shaping up to be a good one. So then, let's get a little tonic in. Oh my God, good Lord, the top nearly blew off that. That's excellent, very pleasing. That's great content. So let's get it in there. Now it's a stronger gin, so is it gonna loosh where it turns slightly sort of cloudy in the glass? Not really, no. That was an anticlimax, wasn't it? Anyway, let's crack on and taste the gin. So as I always say, thank you to all my patrons and my members who are literally paying for the gin. They pay for that gin, they pay for the gin over there, they pay for all this gin on the show. So the show would not be here without you. This is Oxley cold distilled. In fact, look at the state of that. Oxley cold distilled gin. I say to you, one and all, cheers. Now that is interesting. I usually do it from that way, don't I? Sod it, let's change it up, let's mix it up. I'll do it from that way. Here we go. I don't know if you can hear that. Someone's starting up a bloody buzzsaw or something outside. Damn you, buzzsaw man, you ruined my crescendo. Anyway, I was about to say that, my friends, go again, hang on a second. Oh my God. And I'm not a religious man, so that is really something. I'm invoking the name of the Almighty. That, my friends, we got a good one. It's like an adventure, like a whirlwind adventure of flavours. There's, like it said, you can kind of taste all those sort of citrus flavours they've got in there. The orange peel, the lemon peel, the grapefruit peel. But it's kind of like they've been dialed up a notch in a way I've never tasted before. Much like with the aroma, they whiz and bang and crackle and fizz and... Can you hear me? Can you hear him again? He's at it. Damn you! It's not much of a kind of a drawn-out journey, as in you get the little bit on the tongue, then a little bit sort of when it's in the mouth, and then an aftertaste. It all kind of comes as one, to be honest. So I'm trying to discern those other flavours. There's definitely something kind of nutmeggy in there, because I always think that kind of offsets the citrusy flavours very nicely. But there's kind of a little bit of sort of aromatic swirling in there as well, just to give it a little bit more depth of flavour, and the sting of the ABV is very, very clear, being 47%. I think all gins should be like 46, 47, because don't forget the excellent number 3 over there was a 46%, and that was one of my best gins ever. But I always talk about balancing of the flavours on this show, and that's quite a thing to balance that many flavours, but they're absolutely perfectly aligned with each other, and it kind of singing like a harmony, but a harmony with more parts to it than perhaps I've never experienced before. And although I say not much of a kind of an aftertaste, actually after a couple of goes now, it's kind of a sort of a trailing sort of residue of kind of juniper really, which is fitting because it's gin, but juniper usually comes a bit closer towards the front. You know what I mean? But this time it's kind of treading behind, which I like. It's quite unique because it leaves you like a wafting memory of, you know, pure ginness basically, because if it's not, you know, juniper, it's not gin. Oh my word, I'm telling you, we've got a contender for the top 10 of the year with this one. So let's give it a little try neat, shall we? Now this is going to be quite peppy, and of course, as always, I should be having it in this rather beautiful no-nonsense gin drinking mug, which you can own as well if you click on the little icon below, and it will improve your life immeasurably, and mine very, very slightly with the terrible percentages that I get. Anyway, let's give it a go. Oh, blimey, that warms the old cockles. Wow, a bit more of a harsh sort of experience, as you probably imagine, but it kind of leaves you quite cold. It's a little bit frosty. I'm not talking cold as in emotionally, I'm talking physically, realistically, literally. It's kind of a freshness about it, a bit kind of a sort of a, in the same way sort of a toothpastey sort of fresh would be. And to be honest, I think it's losing a lot of the complexities that when you have it with the tonic, a lot of people complain to me, say, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't drink it with, you should try it without tonic first. I disagree, I totally disagree. Tonic unlocks those flavours, as I've said before, and I think that is definitely one. When there's so many flavours in there like that, definitely one to be enjoyed with the gin und tonic, as they say in Germany. So then, guys, how much is this? I mean, that's something spectacular, but how much is all that complexity and flavour going to set you back? Well, I have good news for you. I have news, and it is good, because this little fellow, my friends, is a meagre £35, right in the middle of that £30–40 bracket, which I like to pay for less known gins. And that, by the way, to give you an idea, that is about $41, about €42. So I'm telling you now, I would have been happier to go right up the top bracket of £40 for that one. But the fact that you're saving £5, God, literally everyone is a winner. So guys, to sum up, this is quite spectacular. When it arrived, I thought to myself, it's a rather mundane looking bottle. That's not really going to leap out of me off the shelf, is it? I'm not going to think, ooh, what's that strange looking beast up there? Which I like to think people say about me when they first see me. But honestly, that sort of rather benign exterior belies the complexities within. And if this is what happens when you distill it at below freezing, this is something awesome, and I can't believe I haven't heard of this before. By the way, I think it's patented as well, so I don't think anyone else can do this. So I'm telling you now, if you're a gin lover, which I suppose and I presume you are if you're watching this show, this one is something pretty bloody special. And if ever you see this, if ever you were thinking, if you've never heeded my advice before, I'm telling you now, today is the day to heed it, because that, my friends, is bloody spectacular. And I say to my friends at the Oxford, I was going to say Oxford, a bit of a mixture of Oxford and Oxley, at the Oxley Distillery, keep up the extraordinarily good work. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Hope you found it useful and indeed informative. If you did, don't forget as always to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Press the like button on the video. If you want to support the show, head over to the Patreon page if you want to, or indeed press the join button below this video. And don't forget to head over to the Bobby Freeman Show as well if you want to see more of, well, me. But until next time guys, you all know the drill. Take care, stay safe. Thank you to all my patrons and my members, and of course, keep drinking the gin.